So in today's video, we are going to practice the tool which we learned in previous videos. If you did not watch these videos, just go and watch the previous videos of this series, and we will also learn some new tools. So this is the given scene. I am going to delete this cube. Also going to hide this camera. Here, go to outliner, hide this camera and light. Okay, so if I am going to use the shortcut keys, just follow here. The shortcut keys which I am going to press will appear here. So add the object, we can add the object by pressing the Shift A to have this add menu, and we are going to add a cube. So this cube, little cute cube, we added it. Now press the S to scale it, or you can also use the tool given here, scale. So I am going to use the shortcut key S. And now we want to scale it in the Z direction. So press Z to scale it. So scale it down like that. Okay. And one other thing about the control of the scale. So now I want to scale it in the Y direction. So select the cube and press the S key. So now you can see I have my mouse here at this location. If you have your mouse far away from the object, you will have more control on the object when you are using the scale or the other tools. So see, I have the mouse here at this location. I am going to press S for scale and Y for the direction. So now I have a control at this location. Now I can use like that to control it, have much control at this location. And now we want to scale it in the X direction. So scale, now I am going to keep my mouse near to this 3D cursor and this origin of this object. Just for an example, press S and then Y. Now you can see I have a very little control if I want to scale it in the Y to make it smaller. I have very little control. Okay, so I am going to scale it here. Okay, so we just scale it. Now we are going to learn how to apply this scale. We already apply the scale. If you press N to and go to item here, and then if you press N, you will have these transform, the items, tools, view, create, and edit, and this is the add-on which I added. Okay, so if we go to the item and see the transform, for this object, you can see the scale is different for X, Y, and Z. So this object, its scale, but it's not uniform. We have to apply the scale to make it uniform, because sometimes when we apply the modifiers here in the properties, when we use the modifier, sometimes if the scale is not uniform, the modifier will not work in a good way. Okay, so how we can apply the scale to make X, Y, and Z uniform 1, 1, 1 all? Now you can see these values are different. So we are going to press the Control A, and here you can see the apply and apply the scale. So how we can apply the scale? By using the shortcut key, select the object, press Control and A. Control A, you can also see in the shortcuts Control A, and apply the scale. Okay, so we scale this object, and now we can hide this properties, the transform, press N to hide it. Okay, so now we have this cube, and here we have the name cube. So if you double click on it, you can change the name to table. We are going to make it table from this cube. So in the previous video, I also talk about the basic shape and how we can make the use the basic shape to make the final model. So I am going to select this table and go to edit mode. You can go here and change the edit mode, or you can also press the tab to have the edit mode on. Okay, so now you can see all the faces, edges, and vertices are selected. So we have this the upper portion of the table. Now I am going to make some cuts, and we are going to remove a portion of this table. So in the previous video, we just designed this upper surface and then extruded the uh, lower legs. But here we are going to use another method. Okay, so we are going to now control R to add the loop cut. So Control R, and now add a loop cut at this position. And when you use the hotkey and you edit the loop cut, the after adding the loop cut, now it's in the move, it's moving. You can see this loop cut is moving. So you just have to click and place it here. Okay, so I am going to move back, and if we use this loop cut tool using the tool, and we just add a loop cut and then add, it's just adding the loop cut. But when you use the shortcut key, it will also allow you to move this cut and where you want to place it. So I am going to use the shortcut key for the loop cut, and it will give us a little bit more control than using this tool manually. So Control R, and now we want to select the location where we want to add this loop cut. So I am going to add this loop cut at this position. So place it by clicking the left click. When I left click it, now it's in the move. So now we can move it normally to this edge. So if we don't want to place it and move it in like, then we have to right click to place it in its original position. Right click, so it will be in the original position. Then again add a loop cut at this position. And if you are using the hotkeys, it will also give another control for this loop cut. So Control R to add another loop. So I am adding a loop here. No, it's in the move condition. We don't want to move it. We want to place it in the same location. Add that. Okay, so it's added here. Okay. So again, I just undo it by Control Z. Again, add a loop cut. And here we want a loop cut here at this position. When you stop your mouse at this position, this will have a loop cut here. So now if you want to add the 2 or 3 loop cut, you can do it by using this hotkey. So you just move your middle mouse wheel, and if you rotate it, now you are increasing the number of loop cuts. So basically I don't need it anymore, so I'm just select it, and now we have a loop cut here. Okay, now we have the loop cuts, and we divided this um, cube in 4 portions. So now I am going to activate the toggle X-ray so we can see the back, and I am going to select the face mode by using by going here and select the face, or we can also press the 3 on your keyboard. And now move to the top view. When you are in top view, select these faces and press shift to select these faces, and you can see we also selected the bottom faces, and press X to delete the faces. These faces are not selected. Again, select them and press X to delete these faces. Now we deleted all the other faces, and just one portion of this object is here. So now deselect the X-ray, and now you can see we have only one portion of this. So now go to the object mode, and we have this object like that. So now we are going to learn another modifier, which is mirror. So go here on this modifier tool, select this object, add modifier, and select mirror. So when we select the mirror, this object is mirrored with this origin of this original object, and mirror it along the x-axis. Now we want to mirror it also on the y-axis. So it's also mirrored in the y-axis. If we select z-axis, it will also mirror it in z direction, but we don't needed it. And now we have this object. Okay. So basically, we apply the mirror modifier and added this 4 portion which we deleted. But the question is why we deleted the 4 faces if we needed this same geometry. So I am going to undo it. Just click the cross. So we have the original portion of the cube which we have. And now go to edit mode. We are going to add a loop cut here to add this leg. Okay. So I'm going here, Control R, add a loop cut at this position, make it and move this loop cut at this position. So basically we want to add a portion of this leg which we can't extrude it. So dimension does not matter here. You can move it according to your requirement. This is your design. You can like it again. Control R and place it here. And again, Control R, add a loop cut here on this location and move it like that. Again, Control R, add a loop cut at here and move it like that. So this area I created to add the leg. You can adjust these. And now go to the face selection by using here or press 3 on your keyboard. Now select this face, press E, and it will automatically activated by the Z direction. If you don't want to use the Z direction, just press the Z. No, it's not aligned with the Z. So basically what we needed in the Z direction. So press Z. Okay, extrude it like that. Okay. And now just scale this face little bit like that. So we have a taper for this leg. So what we did, we just scale this face. Okay. Now go to the object mode. Now we have only this portion and we are going to use the mirror modifier. So mirror modifier just save us a lot of time. This is a simple design, but if we have a complex design and it's symmetrical, it will save us a lot of time. You can see we added the loop cuts here and we then use the mirror. But if we are making this table by not using the mirror command, we have to add a lot of loop cuts and then we extruded these four faces. But this design has a symmetry, so we just have added one portion and we use the mirror command. Okay, so at this time we are going to apply this modifier. So, but most of the time we don't apply our modifier until we reach the final design. And when we reach at the final design, we just apply this modifier. Because if you apply this modifier, then you are not go back and edit these modifier. So, but for this design, I am going to apply it because this is my final design. So, okay. So in the previous video, we make the same table using different tools. And in this video, we make this table using the mirror. The previous video, we did not use the mirror command. Okay, so we have this beautiful object. Now we are going to add a chair, and then we are going to add some objects on this table to make a scene. Okay, just simple chair. This consider it an assignment and make this chair by yourself. But if you don't want to make it by yourself, just follow these steps. So again, now you can see we have the 3D cursor here in the center. So when we are going to add the object will be added in this location. So Shift A, go to mesh and add a cube. And then just move this cube at this position. So G for move, and then we want to move it in the X, in the Y direction, then press Y. It will be aligned with the Y direction. So just place it here. Then S for scale, and we want to scale it in the Z direction. Just scale it like that. And here, if you want to change your scale, you can also go here on the properties and you can adjust this scale. Okay. Now for this object, I am going to press Ctrl A to apply the scale. So the scale becomes uniform for X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now select this object, go to edit mode, and we are going to add some loop cuts. And we can adjust this scene by going to Shift and then middle mouse button to pan it here. Okay, Control R to add a loop cut and move it here at this position. And again add a loop cut, Control R, move it here. And again Control R and add a loop cut here. And then just place it in the middle of this cube. And this cube, we are going to name it chair. Okay. Now we have a loop cut in the middle. So now go to the edge selection by pressing 2. And if we want to select this whole loop, just press the Alt on your keyboard and select this edge. It will select the whole loop of this edge. Now we can bevel this to make two loop cuts. So Control B to bevel it and place it like that, like that. Okay, so again I am going to go back, Control Z. So this select this loop and then we are going to use the bevel tool like that. We can also use the tool instead of hotkeys like that. So we have these faces. So now select these faces by going face mode selection, then press shift, select this face, this face, this face, this face, and press E to extrude it in the Z direction at this place. And now I am going to select the face mode, go to selection, select this face, this face, this face, and E to extrude it in the Z direction. So here we extrude it. So this is a simple chair. So now if you want to see the front, just press 1 on your numpad to see this view. And if you press 3 on your numpad, you will see the right side view. So in this view, you can see this top of the chair is like facing this one. It must be little bit low. So how we can do that? We can go to the object mode and now select this object, press 3 and then G and Z to move it in Z. So this must face like that, and then press G and Y to move it near to this table. Now these legs, these are bigger than the legs of the table. Now we needed to edit it. So go to select this chair, go press tab to go to edit mode. In face mode selection, press 3, select this face, press shift and select all the other three faces of this legs of this chair, then press 3 so you can see the right side view. Now we needed to move these faces, so it must be equal to this face. So press G and Z and move it like that. And so now it's like facing each other, collinear like that. So, and then press tab. So now you are in the object mode. Okay, so if you think the size of this table is bigger, you can S to scale and like that. You can scale it and then adjust the position, the legs and everything of this chair. So just play with these tools which we are learning and you will have the experience how you can change the thing. So for me, I think it's good. And now we needed to mirror this chair on the other side. So select this chair, go to mirror and then see what happen when we mirror it. So this will be a good explanation for the origin and the 3D cursor of the scene. So modifier, and we are going to select the mirror modifier. And here you can see in the y direction it's mirror just in front of it. So because this mirror tool, it's follow this origin of the object. So we have to shift this origin. So press X, Y, or the other way is that we can also add a mirror object. Like instead of using this origin, we can add an object against which this object is mirrored. So we want it mirror in the along the y-axis, and to use the mirror objects, let me select this table. So when we select this table for the mirror object, now it will make this mirror with the origin of this table. So that's why when we use the mirror object table, now it's mirror this chair according to the origin of this table. And now we are going to apply it. Okay. So now in this scene, we have a chair and two chairs and a table. And you can see for the chair, we use the mirror object. These two are uh, one object chair because we use the mirror and we apply this mirror. So we can also separate these objects, but for now, this is good. Okay. Next, we are going to add some objects on this table. So Shift A, and we are going to add a cylinder. And the size of the cylinder you can change it here. So like vertices, it has 32 vertices. You can see these sharp edges, these are the vertices. I'm going to increase it for now. And the radius we can also change it or decrease it like that. And depth we can also increase it or decrease it. So these properties we can control it. Now just select this cylinder Z to move it in the Z direction and move it like that. Now we have this cylinder like that, and from this cylinder we are going to make a class. Okay, select this cylinder, and now we can change the name of the cylinder by double clicking on here on the outliner and changing the name, or we can select this object and press F2 on your keyboard to change the name of it. Okay, now I am going to scale it in Z direction to decrease its length like that, and apply the Control A to apply the scale, and then select this and go to edit mode. Click tab, and now everything is selected. Just zoom in, zoom out, pan to make a view on which you can work easily. Now we are going to select this top face and press 3. So you are in the right side view. Just pan it here. And now I am going to scale this top face like that. Select this face and scale it like that. Okay. So now in 3, select all of this. So go to X-ray, select, press 3, select all of these faces and just scale this object. Okay. And select the top face. Now press the X-ray to deselect this X-ray and top face, and press X to delete this face and delete the top face. Now we have a simple glass cup, plastic cup, a disposable cup, something like that. And we can also scale it down a little bit. This top is very big, or it's okay, something like that. Okay, go to tab and just zoom it or pan it like that, and then select this glass, right click and shade smooth, and go here onto the object data properties. Go here to normal and select this auto smooth and angle must be 30. Okay, select this object, go to modifiers, add a solidify modifier to add some thickness. Okay, something like that. And apply this, place it even thickness and apply this modifier, or you can just place it like that. Okay, next go to modifier, add a bevel modifier, and for this bevel modifier, so one other thing is that the position or the order of these modifiers are also important. You can see if we move this bevel modifier top of it, it will react in a other way. If we move it in the bottom to this, it will act in another way. So this order is very important. So open the bevel, and now we are going to increase the segments. So bevel is used to make the sharp edges round edges. You can see the effect. If we select this one, and you can see we hide these bevel, it's applied, but we just hide it from here, so we cannot see it. So you can see the sharp edges are converted to round edges. Okay, so apply this and then shades more, something like that. Okay, now we need to place this on the table. So go to right view, press 3 on numpad, select this glass and G and Z, move it and place it little bit here on this. So you can, it seems this must be on this top. So like that. Now it seems it's on the top of this table. Now I'm going to pan it like that, and select this object, go to modifiers, and we are going to use, I'm going to also apply this add modifier, and now we are going to use the array modifier. So basically array, it will add another copy of the same object but at some distance. We can control this distance here. So factor x like that. For the count, we are going to add 4 of these. And here we have the other properties which we can control, but for now the count is 4, and I'm going to apply this array modifier. So now you can understand the concept of the array and modifier, the mirror and the array modifier. So basically array will add the copy of the same object at some distance. We can specify the distance here. We can also control the x, y, and z factor. So if I am going to control the y, this will be like that. If I am going to control the z, it will be like that. So but for now we are going to keep the x and the 0. Okay, and just apply this modifier. Okay, now I am going to select these all of these objects are combined together. So just go to press 7 so you can see it from top, and just press G to move it like that. Okay, so now we have the 4 classes, 2 chairs, and 1 table. Okay, next. Okay, so we all of these objects are connected with each other, and these are 4 objects, but basically in the Blender, in this scene, these 4 are connected with each other. How we can separate it? So basically select this object, go to edit mode, select all, and press P to separate it. So we want to separate it by selection. So now you can see we have glass and glass 1. So if I am going to tab to object mode, so you can see we have glass and glass 1. Okay, no, it was basically we selected all of these objects. I'm just going to delete this copy. Okay, so here we have these 4 objects. Now I am going to go to the X-ray, activate it, and now we have 4 of these objects. So we are in the face selection, and if you want to select this object only, you can move your mouse here on this object and press L. It will only select this object, but all of the faces and the vertices. And just press Control P to separate it, and separate it by selection. Okay, select it. Now this object will be separated and the copy of this object will be here. Okay, Now move your mouse here on this object and press L, so it will select all the vertices and faces of this object. And if you now right click, you will have this properties, and here we also have this separate tool where the shortcut key is P, and by selection it will also be separated. Now we want to select all of the vertices of this object which is connected, which was connected. So move your mouse cursor here on this object, press L, completely select this object, and P to separate it by selection. And now go to the object mode, and you can see we have glass, glass 1, glass 2, glass 3. So all of these objects are separated. Now just toggle the X-ray to close the X-ray view, and now you can see we have these four objects. Okay, so for, and now just go to the top view, use some tool, practice it, and just make a design of these four objects. So I'm going to use the G, make it one here at this location, make it one at this location, make it one at this location. So every chair is facing, has two, every chair has one glass facing each other, and if we have two chairs here at this position, we can also these two chairs also have one glass, so like that. Okay, now again I'm going to add a simple factory. So shift A, add a cylinder. So the properties of the cylinder are same because we changed it in the previous step. So we needed the, just decrease the depth like that, edit it, then select this one, go to right view, pressing 3 G to move it like here. Okay, so now go to edit mode, and I am going to delete the top face X and this face. Now we just deleted this face. Okay, now we are going to select this whole vertices. So go to vertices mode 3, select, press Control, select these, all of these vertices, press E to extrude in the Z direction. So we have extruded, but the Z is not selected. So select Z and at this location. So we extruded it, and the distance of Z is here. So something like that is like that. Okay, we just extruded this face here, and now I am going to select this bottom face by pressing the Control and just press F to fill it. So we fill this face. Okay, now go to the vertices mode, select this vertex in the middle. If we can see in the top, press 7, and we are going to select the middle vertices. So this vertex, press shift and select this vertex, and now we needed to join these two vertices. So press J to join it. Meaning join, it will add another edge between them. So here we needed to in the middle. So this vertex is at this position, and just rotate this model like that so you can see a vertices in front of it. So this vertices, and press shift to select this vertices, and press join J to have another vertices between them. So now if you go to the face mode by pressing 3, you can select the faces. Basically we divided these faces. So I am going to delete this face, X to delete it. Okay, and we are good. Go to tab and shade smooth, select this cylinder and shade smooth, go to properties This one, the data properties, object data properties, auto smooth. And here we are going to select this object and then go to the modifier tab and add a solidify. So it will basically add a thickness to this object, something like that. Okay, that's good for now. And even thickness and apply. So, and here we can also press and another modifier, the subdivision surface. So when we edit it, you can see the shape is changed. It will edit the geometry and it will affect this shape. We can control it and add the loop cut to make this shape a little bit good. So to add the quality, go to edit mode and now you can see the original original loops and faces is also here. So basically we needed to edit some loops so we can change this shape. This is the effect of this subdivision surfaces, subdivision modifier. So when we added this modifier, it added these faces and edges which we can control by using the loop cuts to control its shapes. So control R to add a loop cut at this position, and when we move it you can see we are changing this shape. So just like that, and you can see the tweaks on this bottom face. So you have to select this edge, this whole edge. So by pressing the Alt and select this bottom edge and then press I. So when you press the I, it will insert this face and add an other face. So face and then again I add another face. Again select this, press I to use the insert I, like that. And also in the inside control R, add something like that. And control R, deselect it. We needed to select this inner face. We just go here and check this option. So we can see the original object by unchecking it, Alt and select full of this face. And then again I. Go to face selection, select this face. Okay, the inner side we cannot see it, so it does not make any problem for us. We have some tweaks, but the inner we cannot see it in this view, so it does not matter. We don't need to work the faces or the portion of the geometry which we cannot see it in the scene. So go to edit mode, apply this subdivision solidifier. So basically, when you apply this subdivision modifier, it will add the extra geometry on this object and change the shape of the object and sometimes make it very weird. Okay, So now go to right view, pressing 3 and G to move it in this place. Then go to top view and just select this ash and move it like that. Okay, so we have an ashtray here. Basically press 7 G to move it at this position. And how we can duplicate it? We can use the mirror or the array modifier. The other is that just select this object and press Shift D, and you can also have a copy of this object which we can place it any position you like. At this position, press 3 to have a right view. Select this object G and just a little bit top of this object, and press 7 to have the top view and G to move it at this position. Okay, so now we make this scene. Just Shift A, add a plane as to scale this plane like that. G to move it in Z direction. Press 1 G Z like that, and go to edit mode by pressing the tab. Go to edge selection. Shift select this edge, press E to extrude it in Z direction. So we can make a scene in a room. Okay, so now go to the render and we have a light here. Then select this light, go to the light, go to the properties of this light, and you can go to the object mode. We were in the edit mode. Now select this light and go here on the object data properties of this light, and we want it the area light. Scale it. So we have a light here, the direction of light at this position, and increase the power to. Go to render. So you know now you can see the effect of this light. We can also change the color of this light. So I am going to selecting it and R to repeat it like that, and add the color to this table. New material. You can select any color of your taste. These are the plastic glasses of red color. This ashtray will be black color, and this room we have the color of white. This ash is also black color. Select this light and uncheck the shadow. So this light is not producing any shadow. If you want, you can just check it. Okay, now go here onto Blender engine, Circle, denoising, go to the output properties, in the location, select the location of this output where it will save it, press 0 so you can have the camera, press N. We are going to lock this camera and to open this bar, view, camera to lock, no just camera. So we have this scene like that. Now go to render and render this image. The sample is 496, so it will take some time. You just try and see how much it will take time if the sample is 4096. I'm going to now end this video. So it make these things just render changing the sample and see how much time it will take. And you can also adjust the location at this view. You can see this chair is little bit up. Thank you so much. Please like this video, subscribe my channel and share the videos to your friends.